The Vauxhall coming towards them fits the bill nicely.
That Vectra looks worth a look.
Blue one?
Yeah. It might as well have had an orange flashing light on the top and a big sign on the back saying stop me. The driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
It's November 584 Victor Papa Alpha Blue Vectra.
Seatbelts on now.
Confirming a blue Vectra, it's no reports present. The previous keeper details from Ipswich. Over.
Insurance.
Rogers, any insurance shown on that, please?
That's a negative.
It was showing no insurance. It was showing all the markers that you would suggest that the person is driving it without any form of documentation. Thinking about it.
Flashing blue lights from behind can only mean one thing.
Still thinking about it.
Even if they are on an unmarked Volvo.
I'm going to bomb back.
Do you know what it is?
I don't know, he is.
It's time to pull over.
Initially we thought it was going to fail to stop for us. We put the blue lights, headlamp flashes on and indicated that we wanted it to stop. He'd seen us, you could see that he'd seen us, and it just took a long time to stop. I believe that he was running it through his mind whether or not he could fail to stop and get away or not, and he obviously made the right choice. If police want you to stop, then really you should stop straight away. Because the first thing that happens is we think that you don't want to stop for us.
That's why I indicated you didn't want
Right, well, sometimes we get people getting its rods as well. Do you know what I mean? Is it your car?
No, I borrowed it.
Does he know you borrowed it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you sure? Yeah. Is it your car?
Yeah, it's just...
Whose car is it then?
It's just like a car that I'm buying, but I haven't actually bought the car, so I'm buying the car and just selling the car out.
But the owner knows you've got it?
Yeah, as I say, I'm not the legal owner,
but you've got authority to drive it?
Yeah, I am going to be the legal owner, so I'm selling it.
Have a seat in the back of my car for us.
It's very vague on actually who owned the car. He didn't own it. Straight away I admitted no insurance on the car. You know, to police, Mark?
Yeah,
What fella? Driving offences. Have you got a full licence?
No.
Okay. Didn't have to ask him many questions to find out he'd got no licence either. Yeah, this Vectra that finally got stopped. Could I have a Phoenix Person and DL on the driver, please?
These cops from South Yorkshire may be part of a crack car crime busting unit, but Sergeant Horton still worries about baldness.
Get that there. Oh, cords exposed all the way around. Get all the tyre there. Get them cords there. See them? See the tyres on it?
Right, see? You just said about tyre.
3 like that. Watch yourself, you'll cut your finger.
The check on the driver has come back. He's a prize catch. A drug dealer.
Steve!
A search of his car is imperative.
Intelligence on Class C supply and stolen goods.
What?
I just need to go through a vehicle.
It's got 3 regular tyres on it. The front tyre is just cords alone. There's no rubber on it. Just cut your finger.
He's such a traffic cop, isn't he? After all these years in a road crime team, we're supposed to be looking at burglars and drug dealers and car thieves, and he's more interested in a tyre.
Gives me grounds to do a quick search, so that's what I'm going to do.
We knew from his previous convictions that he was involved in supplying of cannabis and other drugs, so that was enough for us to obviously go back to the vehicle and have a second look at it and search through it to see if there's any substances on board that vehicle.
Sure enough, there is.
We searched for the vehicle and we found some cannabis resin, all in one large polythene bag, but all separately wrapped up in what we call dealer wraps, all weighed and all measured, ready to sell on.
It's one up to the South Yorkshire boys.
We ought to have had a bit of a sweepstake to see who got first prisoners, didn't we? Well, your lot of fannying about, we've struck.
Just a standard stop check. Cough, no licence, no insurance. We've gone into the centre console. We found obviously the 6 major wraps of cannabis resin.
Because of the difference in local procedures, process teams have been set up for the day, so anybody that were arrested were to be handed over to local process teams who would then put the file together, and we would be then left to go back out on the streets and continue doing what I think we do best.
With a couple of warrants and intelligence to follow up on from West Mercia Police, there's no hanging about, and PC's Turvey and Hamner set off in pursuit of their quarry. Their leads take them directly to an address in the suburbs, where they immediately spot their target.
Just let him go a bit. Let's see if he drops off to anybody. We've got information that that address we've just passed there, the suspect lives at the location. And at weekends, in the evening, he is supplying ecstasy and cocaine to various people in the town centre.
PC's Turvey and Hamner follow the car to a nearby address, which they suspect is a drop-off. Once the suspect is parked up in the cul-de-sac, PC Hamner decides to challenge him.
How are you? You all right? Hi. Is this your vehicle, is this?
Yeah.
All right. Where are you off to?
I'm picking a lady up from here.
All right. Who's that? Who's that?
Petra.
From which address?
Sure you know.
No, just tell me the address, will be okay.
The driver seems uncertain as to the address he's parked at, so the night cops decide to search the man and his vehicle.
The reason I'm stopped you, is there anything in this vehicle that shouldn't be on here at all? Okay. On the basis of the information that I've had, I'm now going to conduct a search on this vehicle, okay, and yourself. I'll give you the opportunity to tell me first, is there anything in here that should not be in here? Just keep your hands where I can see them, please. Just keep your hands out of your pockets, please.
You turn it on.
Yeah, keep your hands out of your pockets, yeah?
Sorry, sir.
Is there anything in here that shouldn't be here at all?
I don't know.
Not at all, no?
No.
Okay, if you just step out your vehicle, keep your hands where I can see them, out of your pocket at all times, please. Out of your pocket.
I understand. Sorry.
Just keep your hands out where I can see them, okay? Don't go for your pockets. Keep them out. Get your hand out your pocket, mate.
Sorry.
Keep your hands out here where
Right.
I can see you.
Listen, I've never met you before in my life, have you?
No.
No, I don't know what you've got in those pockets, okay?
No,
So for your safety and my safety, please keep your hands out, okay? While my colleague searches you. Okay, you're not under arrest, you're just detained for the purpose of a search, okay? Do you understand that?
The night cops have to be alert to any possible threat. The man may look harmless, but there's no way of knowing whether he has a concealed weapon. PC Hamner is not taking any risks.
You've just been for your pockets, haven't you, matey? So just keep your hands there where I can see them for now, okay? Keep them like that, all right?
It doesn't take long to find the first suspicious rap.
What's that in the door? Don't touch it.
Oh, no.
What is it?
I found her on the floor.
Listen, tell me the truth. Stop telling me lies, okay? What is it?
As far as I know, it's speed, but it was on the floor.
As far as you know, it's speed. It's not on the floor, mate. It's in here, okay?
I put it in.
Even finding small quantities of drugs, in this case speed, sets alarm bells ringing.
Okay. Okay, my colleague's just going to search you. If you've got any more on you, just tell him, okay?
Tell me.
If it's here, we're going to find it.
I will find it, okay?
WA Charlie Romeo 02. Just taking it to our car, Andy.
Whilst the suspect is searched, PC Hamner calls through for backup.
If you have any available vehicles down here at this location at the moment, we would be grateful to do a Section 32 search. We've just stopped this male leaving the address with a quantity of amphetamine on him.
Roger, 1891.
The drugs seized in the car gives the night cops additional powers.
Section 32 allows the police officer making the arrest to search any premises or vehicle where that person has been immediately prior to arrest.
Because I've seen you leaving the address before. You've actually gone in the vehicle and we found out, okay? You've immediately left that address. I'm now going to conduct a Section 32 search of your address, okay? And the property within that boundary, okay? Will I be finding any more in there? I'm not giving you a chance to cooperate now. There's nothing else in that address at all, okay?
The power to search premises, they're essential because, you know, these people have friends and they really will get rid of the evidence if we don't get in there straight away. So it's essential that those powers exist.
Whilst the team head over to his house, PC Andy Turvey keeps an eye on the suspect.
We've seen him leaving the address. Rather than go and get a warrant, we can do a Section 32 search of the address because we've seen him leaving it.
The suspect has had no time to hide any potential evidence, and the team are hoping for a result. Never one to miss out on an opportunity, Sergeant Ian Evans joins the team. Having received intelligence about the location of the drugs, the night cops know just where to look.
The intel I've had.
Yeah, 226.
Is it in the caravan?
712.
In the back garden, and also in a swing, if there's a swing in the back garden.
Whilst two of the officers make a start on the garden, PC Hamner makes sure the house is empty.
Police! Police.
You don't necessarily know what's in the house, so there has to be a dynamic risk assessment of what you're going into. You know, it's no good going into a house and suddenly finding this person's got 10 friends there, you know, all high on drugs, for instance.
Clear. 2 rooms clear.
Having carried out searches like this before, the officers know just what they're after.
Basically, anything, drugs or drug-related paraphernalia at this location, to prove that he is supplying.
And it doesn't take long to find the first bit of evidence. But a wad of cash and some plastic bags aren't going to be enough to make a charge stick. They need hard evidence. And then, bingo.
Oh, do you see this?
The night cops have found what appears to be a Tupperware container full of uncut amphetamine.
2358, to get that, to come round the back urgently.
It is where it was supposed to be then.
It was in there, mate.
Was it that, was it?
That's that plan. We suspect it's probably a good block of amphet. $1,000, maybe a bit more.
There's more, oh yeah, how to.
Maybe a bit more than that. That's a good find. Chuff for that. Well pleased with that. That's a good result. Make sure you take all those bags in. That's a good find. Well done, Miles.
It's not just Sergeant Ian Evans who's chuffed.
It's one of them that comes off, isn't it? It's one of them that you can watch it and watch it for weeks and not get anything.
2 minutes.
It's the right place at the right time.
So it's a job well done for the police, but it's not over yet. Sergeant Ian Evans goes back to the car to complete the search, and there are more treats in store.
We've just searched the car now, just behind the ashtray here. We've just found 2 further bags containing what we suspect to be maybe 4 amphet deals in this one, and about 6 cut amphet deals in that one already, all ready for distribution. So hopefully, that will assist in trying to prove a charge of possession of intent to supply.
Following a strip search back at the cell, the police found 4 more bags of amphetamine stuffed into the suspect's shoes. Plenty to secure a charge. Overall, the search turned up about £3,500 worth of amphetamines, which could see the suspect go away for up to 5 years. In Wrexham, catching recreational drug users is tonight's prime objective. It's a proactive approach that uses a special breed of night cop.
Molly is a 2-year-old black Labrador bitch.
Molly's sense of smell is 1 million times that of a human, a useful attribute in the sniffing out of controlled substances.
She doesn't touch the drug itself, she just indicates to me that person is carrying a substance or has been using a substance. And she does that by detecting the air scent around that person.
In the past year, nearly 20% of the population have taken controlled substances. That's over 11 million people. There's been a significant rise in cocaine abuse, with an estimated 750,000 people having taken it in the past 12 months. It's not long before Molly picks up a scent.
Can you come have a chat to one of my officers, mate, please? If she's happy to stay there, which she was on that one, we'll have a chat to him.
But there are significant problems in using this tactic.
There's probably going to be a lot of contamination this time of night, so you see they're all moving from pub to pub. So just have a quick chat to him, that's all, and see what his account is, really.
After he's been searched, this man is found not to be carrying anything illicit and is let go. Molly's presence acts as a deterrent, a visible sign to weekend revellers of the police's intent. North Wales Police also work closely with the local pubs and clubs. It's an initiative that tonight is proving very successful.
I'll update your search to me out. Done a search and we've got bugs on in the house. I'll make you under arrest, okay? Pull the bag up by the bar, so obviously the staff have searched him and they found the bag on him, so... Pull this bag up by the bar, so our staff have searched him and found this bag on him.
Yeah. You stop fucking... Shut off, you fucking knobby! I don't care! Fuck off! Get off me fucking app! Get off it! Get off it! I don't care, mate. Stop kicking my leg, yeah? You fucking knobhead.
Right, take it. Take the kick if you want.
Ah!
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, right.
Shake, sorry. You can't say drugs, okay? You don't have to say anything, but they have your defence. Do not mention when questioned somebody which you later line on court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
It's probably a small bag of cocaine. Basically what's happened inside the nightclub, gentleman's been found placing that in his pocket. He's been confronted by his door staff. He's then attempted to try and run from the premises. He's been detained until police have arrived. He's been arrested at this moment in time for possession of Class A.
So the night cops have had mixed results, but the figures suggest that they are slowly winning the battle against drugs. Convictions have gone up, and slowly but surely the message is getting through.
Hull is one of the most deprived areas in the country.
Every city has its own character, really, has its own kind of trend in criminality. Hull particularly is all a lot of intravenous drug use, heroin, etc. A lot more cannabis coming up.
Tonight, PC's Mick Roth and Rob Jones are in the west of the city. They belong to a specialist cross-border unit policing Yorkshire and the Humber.
I work on the regional road crime team, which was set up a few years ago with a view to tackling more serious criminals or the higher level of criminality. I can't imagine a better job than doing what I do right now. I'm given the tools to do it, I'm given the authority to do it, and I'm given the training to do it. So, game on.
A passing car gets their attention.
Run this kid through. He comes up quite quickly behind us, and I thought, we'll just have a quick look. Nothing else was going on at the time, we weren't particularly busy. Why not?
Back office 36. There's a vehicle check, please, on Arthur Street.
Yeah, what's your details?
Thank you. Focus.
999 road activated. Arriving road activated.
Hey, buddy, come back here, car, you all right? Got your driving licence on you, mate?
No, me not.
What you stopped here for then? You visiting friends or something, or?
No, I live there.
Oh, right, okay.
He gave quite short answers when I was speaking to him. He clearly wasn't very happy about us being there. So he was just generally quite nervous and twitchy is the best word to describe him.
He's got previous rob for burglary, assault, drugs.
Is the Celtic car there shouldn't be, buddy?
No.
Right. Apparently, I've been told that you've some previous history involvement with drugs?
Yeah, years ago.
How many years is years?
Years ago.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
2001.
Okay.
I suspected there was something more to it. It was just a question of working out what that something was.
Just knock interior lights on for us, pal, please.
Sorry?
Put interior lights on for us. Cheers, pal.
Because of how he was behaving, I wanted to dig a bit deeper.
Just have a quick look in the car, pal. Make sure there's nothing there shouldn't be, or on you. Right, no worries. Just so you know, pal, was it you and the vehicle under search and the Misuse of Drugs Act? Just stand crack a door for us, mate. No sharps on you, is there?
No.
Not saying you're injecting out, but you might be a carpenter or something.
Yeah,
People tend to get... Are you working at the minute?
No, I'm unemployed.
Right.
I've just been to cash machine to get my jar
No worries.
out.
Just keep your hands out of your pockets for us, please, buddy. It's all right.
That's just an empty bag.
Are you smoking it?
No.
I've searched him and we've found admittedly a tiny amount of cannabis in his pockets.
Because of that bag, just want to make sure there's no on you shouldn't be, pal.
Okay.
As soon as we found that small amount of cannabis, that was our cue, that was our in, if you like, and almost like the lights had turned on. Great, now we've got some drugs, now we can get into this guy.
Yes, mate, come and assist if you don't mind.
Rob calls for backup while Mick continues to search the car.
There's a lot of sweet wrappers.
Even though they find nothing else, the man's nervous behaviour has left the cops believing there may be more to all this.
There's absolutely zero in it, it's just an empty bag.
It's just that, I appreciate that, mate. It's just them tiny bits that would need to sort out. And I appreciate it's tiny bits.
The little bit of cannabis we've found and the fact we're so close to his home address made me think, well, this lad's clearly nervous because there's something in his house he doesn't want us to find.
We've got to come and sit in yours while we do paperwork, mate. Save sending out straight.
People think you're aggressor and stuff if you're letting people in your houses around here.
To me, that excuse was just rubbish and designed to keep us out of his house, which makes me want to go in his house all the more.
Is there something in the house?
No.
You're not growing cannabis plants in there, don't deaf like that, no?
It's just be double happy with some ID, mate, as well.
Yeah. Just giving him a bank card.
I know, but some photo ID for something else.
Okay.
Let's go and have a look at the house.
Mick and Rob already have enough evidence to caution him for possession. And if they can persuade him to let them into his house, they believe they may find something more. Back in Hull, PC's Rob Jones and Mick Roth have persuaded the man found with a small amount of cannabis to take them to his house. And they're hoping to find out why he was reluctant to let them in.
As soon as we've walked through the front door, as I've looked to the left, there's a relatively large amount of cannabis on the table.
Are you giving us the right address then?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Is there a hotel in house? Seriously?
No.
I'm going to look round, all right?
Well, not really, no.
We'll do it formally then.
When you arrest him and you say, look, we're going to look around the rest of the house now, and he says, actually, I prefer you didn't, you know there's something else in it.
Now the man has been arrested, Mick and Rob have the power to search his house. But before they do, they want some answers.
Is there a grow?
Yes, there's a grow in the house.
Listen, sit down then.
Plonk your house down a second.
Look, don't get yourself upset. I'm walking up the stairs and already you're thinking inside, this is great, what am I going to get up here? He's made an admission, this is why I come to work, this is why I'm here to tackle these kind of people. Here we go. And you're kind of excited, is it behind this door, is it behind this door? Happy days. As you unzip it, the smell hits you, the light from the lamps hits you, the heat hits you, and you think, great result, absolutely great result.
All this because you pulled up at the side of the road.
Well,
yes, mate.
It's your bad day, mate, isn't it? It's unlucky.
It's a massive haul. I don't think you'd get very many more than 70, 80 plants in a small terraced house. So, to be fair to that chap, he's actually done quite well to squeeze as many in as he has.
Call that a result, pal, wouldn't you?
I would.
If the moment's right and the luck's on your side and you put yourself in the right place at the right time, it just pays off. It's all worth it. It is all worth it.
More cops are brought in to search the house, and as they discover more cannabis plants, they suspect they may have stumbled onto something bigger than they first thought. In Hull, Mick and Rob are still searching the house of the man who used one of his bedrooms as a cannabis farm. While his house is being turned upside down, he's decided to come clean about his drug habit.
I started it when I was 15. By the time I was 17, I was smoking it all day, every day. Couldn't get out of bed. Without it, couldn't function, couldn't speak to people. So you're smoking loads, not really feeling the effects of it. So you tend to grow in it. Can't afford to buy it at the prices it is these days.
But the cost of running a cannabis grow like this doesn't come cheap.
They sometimes bypass around the meter with wiring, so the meter doesn't read that there's a large amount of electricity being taken.
Again, not being disrespectful, mate, but do you pay for electric for plants, or is that bypass? You pay for that, do you? Right.
What's lucky bill like, mate? Because you're not bypassed it, have you?
It's expensive.
Yeah.
The man's claim to grow his own cannabis to save money doesn't seem to add up.
I think the recession's hit the country as a whole, and I think people are turning to other ways of extra income, if you like. Some people are doing other things, second jobs, and that kind of thing. This guy's second job is to grow cannabis and sell that.
Do you reckon there's about 50 deer upstairs?
She's
all in order, she's fine.
Yeah.
But the man claims he doesn't sell it. He smokes everything he produces himself.
That's more like an ounce of cannabis every 2 days. And if I don't get it, I go mad on the cigs. I have to smoke loads of cigs just to keep me steady. Just to keep me feeling like normal.
Those plants will make thousands and thousands and thousands of spliffs. It would take him years, no matter how hard he tries, to smoke the amount of cannabis that those plants will produce. So there is no way on God's green earth that he is simply growing cannabis for himself.
The man's cannabis farm will be shut down and all the plants removed and destroyed. He now faces serious drugs charges back at the station. But before being taken into custody, he has one last request.
You switch the plug off as you leave, though, to save the lackey. The electric bill's through the roof as it is.
Doncaster, South Yorkshire. Officers from the Yorkshire and the Humber Regional Roads Crime Team have stopped a car in a drugs hotspot.
I'm PC Sanderson, it's PC from Regional Roads Crime Team. Everything you say and do is being video recorded.
We've been informed there's a vehicle in this area linked to drug dealing. Looking into the vehicle in the centre console, you could see there was quite a large amount of cash in the vehicle, which pricks your ears up, makes you start wondering why is this amount of cash in.
Lads, just listening. All right. How much money's there? Sorry? Right. Just to let you know, this is a hotspot for drug dealing.
And you can see from the head cam footage that the passenger is very, very nervous.
Just want to jump out first. Got anything in your pockets? Just stand over it.
The information what we've got is that the lad in the passenger seat is a known drug user.
Guys, just to be aware, the passenger is currently on licence for burglary and drugs offences. If he gets caught with anything, he's going to be going back to prison, so he ain't got hope to lose.
It ups the ante. If there are drugs in the vehicle, then he doesn't want to get arrested for it, because potentially he's going to go back to prison.
More than a quarter of offenders commit at least 2 or more crimes within a year of release from jail.
Once we've got him out of the vehicle, I've checked the glove box, I've checked the footwell, and then I've checked down the side of the seat, and that's where I've pulled the small package out. I suspected it to be a Class A controlled drug.
Put your hands up, fella. Right, you're both under arrest for possession of the Class A controlled drugs.
Jump out for us and we'll give you a quick search.
At the police station, no further action was taken against the driver. On the passenger, the cops found 8 deals of heroin and he was sent to jail for 18 months. Since the Regional Roads Crime Team was set up in 2008, drug seizures in Yorkshire and Humberside have risen by nearly a quarter to more than 16,000 last year.
Predominantly the people we target are into drug supply, drug use. It blights people's lives.
New technology, like the ANPR camera, is leading the way in the fight against lawbreakers. So are elite squads, like the unit PC McGregor and his partner PC Alan Gardner belong to.
We are entirely intelligence-led. We get tasked as to where they feel we ought to go and what we should be targeting.
They're force-wide troubleshooters, taking on any criminal activity connected with the roads.
It can be anything from a series of burglaries in a rural area, which is like needle and haystack work, down to sitting waiting for one individual which we know is coming.
It's just such an individual that Gardner and McGregor have been tasked to take out this morning in Brighton. He's a prolific drug dealer who PC Gardner caught and arrested in a black Saab around here once before.
When we started getting intelligence coming back again, this Saab was suspected of being active still. He was on a daily basis doing his trade. I was quite keen to get him again.
The lowdown is that the man is dealing his drugs around Brighton's East Side car parks.
We'd swept the car parks either 2 or 3 times. And as we were coming back down Whitehawk Road to Eastern Road, he came out of Eastern Road into Whitehawk Road.
The cops' resolve has paid off.
Hey guys, got the vehicle, Arundel Road, northbound, eastern end of Eastern Road, you see?
So we just had to spin it round in the junction and go after him.
The cops are readying themselves for another pursuit.
I'm just making a priority, a potential vehicle that might make off.
What's
Whitehawk Road, going northbound, behind Yankee 619 November Lima Hotel, the Black Star.
This is not the time or the place for a pursuit, if they can help it.
Stop it here, Findham Road.
Yes.
But merely the sound of the police siren is enough this time. He's not even bothering to pull over.
It's probably one of the strangest stops I've ever had, because immediately the blue lights went on, he stopped. He was ready. He opened the driver's door and he actually put his arms out on the door so that we could see his hands. And I thought that really odd, because I've never had anybody do that in all of my service.
Put it in your mouth, mate. Last time we stopped, you had drugs in your vehicle, okay?
It was almost as though he was expecting us.
That's fine. Okay. Okay, you've been detained for a drug search. Explain to that, mate. The reason I've stopped is you've been recent activity where this vehicle's been seen in certain circumstances, okay? Is there anything in the vehicle at all now?
Nothing.
Nothing at all. How have you been?
I've been fine, thank you.
Good, lads. You're still on bail?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and what's going on with that? When's that in court?
I go back on the 20th of next month.
Can we join him up at the car? Yeah.
I was stopped just the other day.
Were you?
Yeah, Saturday.
It's just another day at the office for the suspected dealer, Colin Wesley.
Okay, stay there.
Absolutely cool as a cucumber. He actually said to me, I hope this isn't going to take long because I've got things to do.
Don't mind if I open up a window a little bit? No? Okay.
Cheek of the man.
I'd met Mr. Wesley before. On that occasion, he did have drugs on him. Is she still in Worthing? Or she moved over?
Yeah, I think she's at her mother's at the moment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. He was exactly the same last time. He was totally cool all the way through the stop, very friendly. He's quite an amicable person. To be honest, he doesn't look like the archetypal drug dealer.
But the cops know better, and they know he's ingenious at stashing his wares.
Yeah, under the lining.
Last time it was in
Just
here.
there, yeah, those bits here.
How does he seem? How's he sort of behaving himself?
It's the same as it was last
So
time.
he seems cool as a cucumber until we find it.
Yeah. Aha!
Aha could be the discovery they've been hoping for.
There's a pocket on the front of the Saab seat, and in that pocket is the wallet. Now, dealers always wrap their money in exactly the same way. They always do it in hundreds, and one of the 20s folds over the other 4. So they can very easily count.
Probably over 700 quid.
Whilst there's no sign of any drugs on this occasion, the cops are pretty sure all the money is from peddling drugs. Until Wesley can explain where he's got so much cash from, he's committing a criminal offence. It's called money laundering.
Listen, mate, unfortunately, I'm going to be arresting you on this time on suspicion of laundering money. You didn't have to say anything. Yeah, you didn't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence.
I was carrying £500 in cash.
I appreciate it.
However much you try not to, you can't detract from the fact that he has previously been arrested, and it's within your knowledge that he's previously been arrested for drug dealing. And you're immediately thinking, it's got to be coming from drugs.
Yeah, money laundering, there's about £1,000, isn't it?
He said, oh, you can't nick me for that. You can't nick me for money laundering for that because it's less than £1,000. I know about this. And the downside for him is they had changed the law, and yes, we could.
At the scene of the drug stop, the cops haven't given up hope of finding drugs hidden in the suspected dealer's Saab. They've brought in a specialist, a good old dog called Jess.
We've done the physical search on the vehicle. Now, is it a case of he's actually bringing a bulk load of drugs over here, or is he actually going to buy a bulk load of drugs? And what we want to find is the hide. And the only way to find the hide, if you can't physically find it yourself, is to get the drugs dog in.
My search dog is trained to find cash, firearms and drugs. As soon as I heard that money laundering was involved as well, it was a kind of double whammy really, so we had double the chance of finding something really.
Already, Jess has got a sniff of something.
There is a cellophane
wrapper behind it. It seems to have some sort of foam in it, though.
Foam, sound dead, and there's one inside.
All right, okay. She gave me a lot of interest there, so it might have been somewhere that he's hidden before. On the outside of the car, obviously I have to do things on the lead, really, especially out in the public, because obviously other dogs, vehicles driving around. So I guide around the vehicle on the lead, and generally what I do is I point to an area where I wanted to check, and then I'll work around the vehicle from there, all around the tyres, bumpers, lights, engine, and all the way around.
There's nothing on the outside. Time for the inside. There's nothing there either, yet the cops are still convinced Mr. Wesley's got drugs. There's one place left worth a look. Round his house.
We've had this guy before. It could be a possibility that this guy is a higher level dealer than you know, the normal street dealer that we get.
The suspected drug dealer, Mr. Wesley, swears he lives a quiet life at home with his wife in Brighton. What he isn't aware of is that the cops know otherwise. He's moved out to a flat in Worthing.
Through further intelligence that we received, we actually identified an address in Worthing where he was actually living.
And they're going to pay it a surprise visit en masse. In no more than a couple of hours, a small-scale army has been assembled, not only to search Mr. Wesley's address, but also the flat beneath his that they suspect is being used as a drug den.
And obviously they wanted to hit the premises at the same time to stop any disposal of drugs. And this is all happening whilst we're still in custody processing Mr. Wesley.
Wesley may not be there, but the cops are expecting a number of his friends in the flat below. They're in for a bit of shock and awe, thanks to PC Stuart Woodford spearheading the assault.
It's very difficult because you want to be fast, but you've got to be as quiet as you can. We had a good 40-50 yards to cover between the edge of the road from where the property could see out and the front door of the block of flats.
The ground floor flat underneath Wesley's is the first to be hit.
Who's the actual owner of the premises? Okay, we have a warrant here.
And it's not for the first time.
I'm going to search you further now, right? So if you've got anything sharp on you or anything you shouldn't have in your pocket, nothing going to hurt myself on or anything, no?
It's a citric acid which is used with drugs.
You're going to look wrong, is he? No, he's bad.
The cops seem to have interrupted an afternoon tea party in full swing, but their intelligence is smack on. It's not ordinary brown sugar they're putting in their cuppers.
Got some heroin about that much.
They've known that I've been on amphetamine for the last 20 years and they're quite happy normally to leave me alone. So provided it's my own personal use and everything, every now and again they get instructions from a higher being or whatever to make a stand.
In Mr. Wesley's flat above, the cops have found they've got the place to themselves.
Upstairs there were 4 officers allocated. Once we established that the property was clear, that means there's nobody in there, we then allocated rooms to search.
As well as drugs, they're looking for anything to tie Wesley to the address or anything to show where he's got his money from.
I've got a bag of...
A quantity of white stuff's been found in the kitchen, but it's not something used for cooking with.
What is it, Becky? What is it?
whatever it is.
Alright, just document where you found it, mate, alright? And what time you found it in your PMB.
It's a significant find, and along with some grass, shows Mr. Wesley either has a bad habit or is indeed a dealer.
Not very clever, is it?
I'll be right down in a minute.
In his living room, they've found further incriminating evidence which strongly suggests the latter.
No, I'll be here a while. I've got to go.
The living room was an Aladdin's cave when it came to paperwork, linking Mr. Wesley to that address for several months prior to that.
And possibly the best find of all.
I was made aware that a key had been found under the doormats by the front door, which was a strange-looking key.
It's the key to the jackpot.
Obviously, you may well have to show the key to the camera.
Basically, we found a safe hidden in the corner, and if I show you what's in there, there's just thousands of pounds and what we believe to be a quantity of drugs.
Ching ching.
Not a bad afternoon's work. In the safe, as well as the heroin, there were other prescription drugs. There was Viagra, there was several other, Tamiflu was in there as well. It was like a hypochondriac's paradise.
Okay.
But I'll look it now. So
Back on there, so not the photograph, what you're putting back on.
Right, that's how it was found. Finding that amount of cash and that amount of drugs is a brilliant feeling. It's what every policeman joins for.
In Sussex, on average, every single motorist is scanned by an automatic number plate reading camera 100 times a year. As well as fixed camera positions, the network also relies on mobile ANPR cameras built into police vehicles. In Pulborough, in West Sussex, PC Philman has one in his car, which has just been set off.
Basically, the vehicle went past us on the road in Pulborough and activated our system ANPR, which is inboard the car. It makes like a noise, like a whooping noise, and then it comes up the briefest description, like marker for drugs or PNC intelligence. So you basically know on the scale of 1 to 10 how important it is.
The information that's come up is high enough on that scale to warrant giving chase. No insurance and drugs. It could be another dealer doing his rounds.
When I got up behind it, I could see from the rearview mirror it was a young lad. I could see what sort of car it was, so yeah, expectations high, but he pulled over.
If you just take a seat in the back and I'll just explain why I've stopped you.
Like Mr. Wesley, the young lad doesn't resemble an archetypal drug peddler.
There you go.
Well, well done.
Hey, basically what I've got on board is an ANPR system.
Oh, yeah.
He'll stand out there.
Oh, it's come out no insurance. I've got my insurance certificate in the car.
Oh, you got it in their car, have you?
They pulled me over.
He doesn't resemble who he's named after either.
Well, I asked him his name, proof of identification, and he informed me his name was Damon Hill. Damon, as in the famous driver.
Fantastic. Lovely. That's your car, yeah?
Pardon?
It's yours. It's your mum's?
Mum's insurance, but my car.
It showed he was insured, albeit on paper, but my experience in paper documentation is sometimes it's not worth it, the paper it's written on.
How long have you had it for?
Only his insurance company will convince PC Man that Damon Hill isn't driving around uninsured. In the meantime, he needs to find out if he is a drug dealer.
Uppermost in my mind is the drugs, because you've got the preservation of that evidence. That's the sort of stuff that can go missing. If he's got it in his pockets, when you'll talk to him in the back seat, it gets shoved down the back. So I dealt with that first. Insurance is the second thing, really.
Your car?
Yeah.
Everything in it's yours?
Yeah.
What's with the drugs grinder in the front?
Oh, it's just a grinder.
Is it just a grinder?
Yeah, just a grinder. I'll give it to you.
No. You stay there.
Oh.
Man's found a grinder that could be used for cannabis.
So it's just the grinder?
Yeah, nothing in there, but...
No.
As soon as I've made myself happy with the evidence that there was cannabis use or possession in that vehicle, I searched it, couldn't find anything, searched him, searched all the clothes in the car, and came across what I thought at the time was cannabis.
But first impressions can be deceptive.
In a green bottle, until I turned the bottle round and read it as parsley.
Damon Hill's a rogue trader, passing the green stuff off for grass.
Smokes parsley, yeah? What's that for then? What, you gave this to kids thinking it was green? What did they think it was when they bought it from you? How old are they? So you gave that to kids pretending it was cannabis? Well, no, but you just told me that you gave it to some kids because they thought it was green, or cannabis. Did you sell it to them? No.
He confessed to me that he showed it to the local kids. Obviously, one of them's got hold of the idea that he's dealing it. They've gone home, told a parent. The parents told the police have put the mark on the vehicle. All because of parsley.
Satisfied no real drug dealing has gone on, PC Man is determined to find out if there's any real insurance on the lad's car.
Hello, PC Man.
By calling his insurers personally.
Hello.
And the news is precisely what he suspected.
When did that happen?
The information was the certificate he provided wasn't worth anything because they'd cancelled it in their database. And they told me that they'd informed the people at the address, informed them a reason why, hadn't heard any reply, and of course if they're not hearing any reply, they cancel the policy.
There is some bad news for you. Zurich have cancelled that policy.
Why?
Why? They cancelled it on the 10th of July because basically there was concern that who was the owner of the driver. Either was it you or your
we
mother.
had a problem with it. It was my mum put it. What happened was my mum said something, and then they put it in the wrong name.
Basically, what they've sent you is a Category 1 disclosure notice. That's for basically sent to your mum, and that was sent twice. All right, since July. They've had no conversation with your mother.
If they said, my mum would have
so
said something to me. Do you know what I mean?
Possibly not. I don't know. But basically, because they haven't heard any information back from your mum, your policy is now not valid.
They seem to think it's a game, but it's not a game.
You're not insured.
No up-to-date payment for the policy equals no insurance, which means Damon Hill's car is now going to be seized.
Could you organise a recovery serial?
If you're not insured, you shouldn't be in a car. Driving is not a right, it's a privilege, isn't it? You work for it.
Oh, hurry up, boy. This kid's on his way. He's coming.
But kids nowadays, they've got it slightly easy. Yes, the insurance premiums are high, but they're high for a reason. It's because they go out on the roads and act like idiots and crash. So if we can nip it in the bud straight away, perhaps others will learn a lesson from it.
Nipping this one in the bud might not be that easy. Damon's mum and dad have arrived at some speed, and they're none too happy.
What the hell are you trying to do? The car's legal. It's MOT, tax and insurance.
Tried to tell them what I was doing, why I was doing it, try and calm them down, and told them why, but they went ballistic at that.
But they have cancelled the policy.
They haven't.
No, they have. No, they have.
All they did, they sent us a note.
Yep.
I got a credit on my insurance, right?
Yep.
Okay, no, on my card
Yep.
for 900 quid. And I thought, what the hell's that for? No letter from them, nothing whatsoever. Just a credit on my card, £900 put back in my card.
That's what it is then.
When you receive something like that with a £900 rebate, you would think to yourself, what's that £900 rebate for? I wouldn't go, oh yeah, I'm still covered in insurance. I would question it.
The incident has attracted quite a crowd. Before they move on, PC Man's got a few words of wisdom.
If you sell parsley to kids, you're going to lose your car, yeah. Don't sell parsley. Thank you very much. All right, let's go and have a cup of tea.
Dave and Mick are hunting a black Honda that they believe has been used in an armed robbery.
Been here somewhere.
Mick wears his specially fitted head cam, catching potential evidence from his point of view.
The head cam's capturing exactly what we see. What you see through the head cam, we see with our own eyes, and it's a great evidential tool, and it just gives us that edge.
Oh, how nice would it be just to drop out with it now.
Come on. We'd had a good ride around that particular area, which was Middleton in Leeds. We hadn't seen the car, so the longer time goes on, the less chance you get of this car appearing.
Right, where are we going to reg our bets?
So we decided, look, we've looked at addresses, we've had a good look round, we can't find it. Let's retrace our steps. Let's go back to where we think it might have been initially.
Civic there.
Yeah.
Is that a Civic?
Yeah. Straight away is a car fitting the description of what we're looking for.
That's it. Keep going.
I think it's fantastic. We've got it. We've done our job. We've got the car. We're on. Now there's a job in it. Now we can do something with it.
16, it's a contact on the subject vehicle, which is stationary unattended outside the connected address. Team acknowledge.
Maintain observations, mate.
Yes.
You get almost elation and you think, fantastic, we've done our bit. It's all falling into place. Today looks on our side. The bad guys are going to lose and we're now starting to win again. What they're trying to do now is we're going to try and keep observations on that vehicle and the property as best we can and make sure no one leaves, and in our unmarked car stay sneaky out of the way as best we can, and we're trying to get some officers down to us as quickly as we can, really, an entry team and as many resources as we can to surround the property. We're on a really limited window here, really limited, because we're going to outstay our welcome quite quickly. It is an unmarked car, but criminality know our cars. They're not stupid. They know we're running unmarked cars and they also know what they look like. And our cars are seen around this area, you know, quite regularly. So you only got a limited window, if you like, before somebody picks up a phone and says, "There's a police car down from your house, mate."
Backup still hasn't arrived when they see something happening at the house.
Oh, movement, guy. White male, thick set, driver's seat.
It's movement from the address. Person enters the driver's door of the Civic. Stand by.
Heavy set white male, blue.
Yeah, I'll move on to interrupts.
A man and woman set off in the Honda.
We have positive sighting of this vehicle. These guys are potentially involved in an armed robbery and we're sat there on our own. Adrenaline's going. And you're thinking all the time what could happen, and you're just trying to remain as alert as possible, not miss a thing, and really be the eyes and ears of the team that are coming towards you to help you.
16, yes, vehicle is mobile on Landshore View towards Town Street at Middleton.
Mick and Dave must not lose the driver.
16, I believe there's marked units in the area, and our intention is to put a preemptive stop on this vehicle as it travels right onto Newhall Road. Speed is 20, Newhall Road generally towards Manor Farm Drive. Any marked units acknowledge?
With a strong chance of a gun inside the target vehicle, they decide to hold back until more police turn up.
It is a kind of a cops and robbers kind of game. You've got to be thinking one step ahead. You've got to try and do the best you can to apprehend these people.
Or if he's going to one of these other addresses.
Yeah. And it is a straight on, still Winrose Drive, back towards the main road.
Two behind.
We were following the car covertly, and the marked cars have come up behind us.
Come through now, let them through. Just put it on, Dave.
They're coming through. They're coming through. Get
your hands up on dashboard now. Put your hands up.
Go on.
Get your hands out, Chuck. Yes, sweetheart, you're under arrest under that same offence. Suspicion of an armed robbery that took place this morning.
You're not expecting to see that kind of person in that vehicle.
Hiya there. Would you mind searching this lady, please?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks very much.
No worries, my love.
She's saying she doesn't know what any of it's about, but there's clearly some cash on display on top of her handbag. It's all been left and it'll be in situ for Socko to do a full forensic recovery of it. We're not going to touch it, but nevertheless I've seen the cash.
I've got nothing in my pocket.
you're looking really at any kind of forensic evidence that can link them to the incident, the robbery itself. So we leave everything in situ, and it can be done, in a sterile area.
Handcuffed in the Honda, the driver shows no signs of cooperating.
Thank you. Get your hands from outside the seat now. Stop messing about.
I've just took my belt off.
Last warning.
I can't get them off anywhere.
The headcam captures me moving around. It captures what I'm looking at, what I'm focusing at, and ultimately on this, you're looking, you're sizing people up, and all the time you're just checking what's going on, and you're just, forming your own risk assessments, if you like, as to who are these people? Are they dangerous? Do they look like they've got weapons on them? And the headcam just gives you that view, which is great.
Word quickly spreads around the neighbourhood.
Go to my house and tell I've been locked up. Yeah, please. Go to...
Mate, you're causing grief for yourself here, aren't you? Disappear off now. The estate where we were working there is a tight-knit community. These two lads walking by happened to know the occupants of the car. The driver was saying, get to my house, go and speak to whoever at my house. And for us, yeah, that's a kind of a coded message to say, get round the house and hide any evidence that's there of any of these offences.
These are just 2 of 300 arrests the West Yorkshire cops make every day.
But anything in your pockets, mate?
No, at all.
We'll put them cigs back in there, mate.
Oh well, there's a job in it, Dave.
About time.
About time with a little job, pal, innit? A little jobette.
Later, addresses connected to the suspects are searched. There's evidence that they've been spending large amounts of money. There are drugs and firearms. The Honda driver now faces charges in relation to the robbery.